staff on goals if they're still struggling to kind of get into the community.
Okay. Very good. And what does a day look like there? I guess more independent, so we're not as concerned about the day programs? Or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that particular program, the clients really kind of run their day. So, you know, they're responsible for making sure that they're scheduled for the things that they're doing. They sometimes do need a little bit of help, but for the most part, they schedule their own appointments. They go to their own appointments. If they want to attend a day program, they do. If they want to volunteer, they do. Some people at times have worked, so they have gainful employment and they go to their job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, about employment. Yeah, that doesn't preclude you from being able to come to something like this.
Right.
And then the supportive housing program is the most independent. So kind of walk back through that one. And again, we're not, I guess, probably not as concerned really with what the day-to-day is for them because they're really out more independently, right?
So in terms of that program, it is living completely in the community. They, with the support of a case manager, will obtain an apartment if they don't already have one. And then the case manager will come in once a month to check on their well-being, the condition of the apartment. Part of it is also checking on their fire alarm and their carbon monoxide detector alarms to make sure they're operating properly. And then the case manager will call them twice a month, just as check-ins. So that's the minimum contact that the case managers have in that program. If the person is struggling at all, the case manager can help them with, you know, linkages in the community. They can help them with landlord relations or anything additional support that they may need.
So talk a little bit about the criteria. So who makes sense for this and how could somebody qualify possibly?
So the first thing is to have a severe and persistent mental illness. And that's how the Niagara County SPO application is filled out. When you're filling out that application and signing the documents in the back of it, you have to make sure there's supporting documents that support that serious and persistent mental illness that accompany that application. If that isn't with the application, then it will end up at the county and won't be able to go out to, you know, my department so we can begin to process. 18 years or older, because this division just serves adults. And then they have to be able, in the license program, be able to get out of the residence in case there's an emergency or a fire, so they have to be able to evacuate within a certain amount of time. We do ask that they engage in their mental health treatment in the license programs, of course. And that's kind of the basic criteria. You know, not a lot of medical concerns. If they have severe medical concerns, sometimes they require a higher level of care. So.
And it sounds like, I mean, medication management is kind of a great determinant on probably where somebody might slot in within the continuum as well. So if medication management is an issue, then it makes sense for them to be in one of the CRs possibly, but if, you know, more independent, certainly that could be the case. You mentioned about the severe and persistent mental illness. For somebody out on the outside, what kind of diagnoses would that be? Might that include?
So it could include a major depressive disorder. It could include schizophrenia. It can include bipolar and a wide range of diagnosis in between there.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think of, you know, if somebody knows somebody out there or has a family member or something like that, maybe just, you know, wow, I wonder if, you know, this would make sense for somebody. So I'm just trying to think through any of those other type questions that somebody might have about whether, you know, somebody would qualify. And I guess to start with, how they could probably ask you all those questions, right? And how could they contact you? What's the best way?
So they can contact me at my Niagara Falls office, and I can be contacted at 716-285-3403. My extension is 2275. I can answer whatever questions they have beyond the presentation today.
When people typically think of community missions, they think of Niagara Falls, and certainly we have, you know, the large homeless shelter in Niagara Falls, and we have the soup kitchen that's serving in the south end of downtown there in the Falls. But that for this program specifically, we've talked about Niagara Falls and the treatment apartment program. They're specifically serving a lot of Niagara Falls, but we can help people. You know, one of our few programs that we have outside of Niagara Falls is the Canal View in North Tonawanda. So there are some people I know that love North North Tonawanda, or wherever they are, but specifically North Tonawanda, and wouldn't want to leave North Tonawanda. And so that's nice, to consider that they wouldn't have to, right? It's actually a beautiful view that they have over at Canal View.
It is a beautiful view. It's a very quiet home, set right across from the canal.
Yep.
So it's a very nice.
Yep. What do you think? So you've seen people certainly come through and go to these programs. What do you think helps somebody be successful in one of these programs versus somebody who's just really having a hard time in one of the CRs or in the apartment program?
Well, I think one thing that helps people is recognizing that they're struggling. And if they can recognize that they're struggling, then it makes it a little easier for our staff and therapists to work with them to recognize their symptoms of their mental health and to talk to them about what medications might work best for them and what coping skills will work best for them. And then as they learn those coping skills, I've seen people do much better and be able to move on to more independent living situations, less, I don't want to say restrictive, but less supportive type environments.
More independent.
Right.
Sure. There's probably a great lesson in there for all of us, right? To accept what is going on in our lives and to ask for help when we need it. So certainly, yes, that makes sense. So just, we got a few minutes left. Let's recap one last time quickly. So a few different types of programs that we can kind of offer. Give us a quick overview of the CRs and the apartment program.
So for the 2 CRs, again, most supportive, 24-hour staff, medication room. It's really group living. With the treatment apartment program, that's a little more independent, but still supportive. Medication room is there to assist them, and staff is there also to assist them. And then lastly, the most independent is the subsidized supportive housing, which allows people to have a little bit of support in the community that might need it, but they do live independently in their own apartments.
You mentioned about kind of the day programs that we have, the Niagara Visions Pros, but also the volunteering as well. I'm thinking of a few of our residents that come and volunteer over at the main site in our clothes closet and our pantry and such. And it's just, I think one of the values of community missions, where we have 22 programs now, under one umbrella, is that we can offer all those kinds of internal kind of opportunities as well. That we aren't necessarily having to go outside, even though we do have a lot of partners to be able to work with on different things. But that's one of our residents for one of our programs can help us in some other different ways and get support from different ways. When we have people that are moving into maybe the supportive housing, if they need furniture, we have some of those things and can help out. In a number of different ways, hygiene products that we can help out in different ways. So those are all things that we can also talk about to all the viewers out there. Also, if you are hearing some of these things and want to help in some way, you can always donate to us. We have many different ways you can donate to us. We have things like the clothes closet, where anything like clothes or furniture or household items that we may need, that you may need to get rid of. Certainly, we know people that are out in the community that need some of those items. So feel free to drop off any of those types of donations to our main site at 1570 Buffalo Avenue in downtown Niagara Falls. And if you have any questions as to maybe that's an odd item or something you're not sure if community missions might be able to take, I would be the one that you'd want to talk to. So you can call that number right below, 285-3403, and just ask for Christian. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have along those lines. Food donations are something that are wonderful also. We are always looking for food donations for our soup kitchen and also our food pantry. So that's kind of ready-made food in the food kitchen. Maybe if you have a huge gathering or something and you have some leftovers, like a catering order or something like that, we'd be more than happy to take that and possibly use it for whatever the next meal might be that we are kind of putting on. And also in the food pantry, those are donations of like kind of groceries, kind of things, peanut butter and jelly, or dry goods or canned goods or something like that. And then also, of course, one of the best things that you can donate to us also is financially. And so those dollars can help us to be able to offer, the basic supports that people might need here in Niagara Falls and in Niagara County, to be able to kind of meet whatever needs that do come up. So you can donate right online to us at communitymissions.org as well. And so, Shawna, thank you so much for joining us here today, talking a little bit about the different choices, the different programs that we have for residentially helping people with mental health. And yeah, we appreciate your time.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I'll put in one last plug here for the Sweetheart Dinner that's coming up. That is going to be held on Friday, March 31st at the Sheraton Niagara Falls in downtown Niagara Falls. A few different ways that you can support us. You can, of course, come and attend the event. You can go to our website, communitymissions.org, and find out some information about tickets. They're available as individual tickets or as a couple or even 8 of you as a table. You can have your own table and buy a bunch of raffle tickets that we'll have there and try to win a bunch of stuff and have a good time for the night. You can also donate to us. We need baskets, we need gift cards to be able to make all of our individuals that are coming winners. So we need lots of those things. You can drop off those to our main site at 1570 Buffalo Avenue at any point between now and let's say mid-March or so, about March 15th. We're trying to get in everything that we're going to be getting in. Or any business owners out there or anyone who wants to sponsor for some reason, get your name out there in front of people. People that are running for political office like to do that kind of thing as well. So if you're thinking of something like that, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about our different sponsorship opportunities. Yeah, we offer all the way from $3,000 sponsorships at this point, all the way down to $100. So we can certainly kind of tailor something that might make sense for you. But we would love to have you to come join us on March 31st at the Sweetheart Dinner. And again, between now and then, and over the next time that I'll be talking to you again next month about community missions. If you have any questions as to something that you might be able to donate or support us in some way, please do give us a call or visit us online, and we'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions that you might have. Thank you so much for joining us here today and learning a little bit more about our choices, residential programs here for individuals with mental health. And please go online to find out any more information that you might need. Take care.